Hello and welcome. Now, this is probably another knife you've been waiting for me to review. It was in my spring 2013 trailer. This is the CRKT Otanashi Noh Ken. Okay, sorry if I pronounced that wrongly, that's just how I would say it. So this is Columbia River Knife and Tool, the Otanashi Noh Ken. Okay, we'll go through some specifications first of all. The overall length of this knife, open, is 10 inches or 25.5 centimetres. Yes, open, it's nearly 30 centimetres, okay? The blade length is 4.5 inches or 11.6 centimetres. The cutting edge, slightly smaller at 4.4 inches or 11.3 centimetres. And the weight is about 6.3 ounces or 179.4 grams. Okay, now the handle scales are 50-50, G10, it's a very nicely gripped G10, good traction, and I think that is stainless steel, but it's bead blasted, corrosion resistant, coated. Okay, it has these 3 milled slots that add to the grip, to the traction, and it has 3 milled slots on the reverse. Okay, now I've held a lot of knives and this traction is just about right, okay, on this G10. If any other knife manufacturers want to copy this traction, do it, because this won't rip your pockets, but at the same time it's just enough traction. Okay, it's not as light as a Tenacious, but it's not as heavy as a cold steel Recon G10. Okay, this is just right. Okay, and I've been using this knife for a few weeks now. Okay, so I've had a lot of experience, pocket time with it as well. Okay, now the pocket clip is tip up only. I think you kind of want it tip up only, but I have been told that it is reversible. Okay, so you can put this to the other side. It's a nice pocket clip. It does have CRKT on it in gold, I think that is. It's a decent pocket clip. Look how deep that rides, as deep as you can get it. Okay, and it rides in the pocket very well. It's heavy-ish and it's long-ish, but trust me when I say I've had this in my pocket many times and I have forgotten that it's there. It just works like the handle, like the G10 handle. It just works. It just fits in the pocket and you forget about it after a while, because the thin profile, it just fits there and it just becomes one with you, I suppose. Okay, so that's the pocket clip. Like I say, I barely noticed it in my pocket. The deployment, it's got this this thumb disc, okay, for deployment, and you can deploy it slowly. Okay, nice solid reassuring click as the frame lock engages. However, you can deploy it quite quickly. Okay, with a little bit of a wrist action. Okay, it's not assisted or anything like that. And my only gripe really is the thumb disc knarling isn't as aggressive as it should be. It's quite weak really. Now I would have had main cutouts. You can remove this thumb disc, as you can see, so if there are any other options you could probably screw them in, or just take this out and modify it yourself. But I don't think that thumb disc is at all that well designed for deployment. However, I may do a video demonstrating some silly moves and some silly ways of deploying it and things, but you can inertially drop it out very quickly. You can, I've had this knife for a few weeks and I can know where the sweet spot is, the weight is. I can shake it out really quick, alright, and I'm not going to do it because it might hit something, but I might do a separate video showing the ways of deploying this knife. But I think that's incredible that you can pull this knife out, deploy it very quickly with a shake or a flick, and it's ready. It's ready, it's locked, you don't really need to have to worry about it. Okay, I think that's, you know, or as of course Mr. James Williams himself says, you can deploy it quite quietly. Okay, now that's not that quiet, but I suppose you could deploy it quietly with two hands, like so, for all the mall ninjas out there. Okay, so that's that. So the thumb disc it's an okay deployment mechanism, but a blade length that long, do you really want that whipping out quick anyway? Because the weight that would carry. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, so the lockup, as I say, is a frame lock, and it locks up just right, as you can see, just right there. I don't think that there is an over travel. I'd probably say the pocket clip counts as that, or maybe this the locks system up here counts as that, so you don't push the locking bar too far over. Speaking of the locking bar, it does have CRKT's locks mechanism, or locks mechanism, LAWKS. Basically, you push this little stud up, and that moves the plate around with a little bit of metal, a little bit of a stop metal pin there, and what that means is that locking bar can no longer be pushed aside. Okay, in theory. Alright, so you've in theory got a fixed blade, but of course there's still a little bit of wobble if you really gave it some strength, but essentially you've now got a fixed blade. Okay, that's what they say. Okay, so that's got that, and when I first got it, it was a bit stiff. Okay, the pivot and just the deployment, but just have practice, lube it up, keep deploying it. The more you deploy knives and things, the looser they will get, which is good, and you can always tighten them back up, no, not a problem, but it has loosened up over time, which is excellent. Now, the ergonomics for what they call a neutral knife are incredible, really. Okay, it is by neutral knife, I mean it doesn't have many cutouts or scalloping or whatnot for your fingers to go in. It's quite a neutral. It's neutral thin profile, okay, which is good because it means you can hold it in many positions. Okay, it just works. Okay, the steel is OS 8A. Okay. It's an okay steel. Just because of the shape, I found it alright, you know, to sharpen, because of this kind of tanto type shape we've got here. Now, I've been sharpening this edge and then working on the rest of the edge. Some people may just sharpen the whole thing, but it does have a kind of an angle there, so I didn't really want to mess that up. But that's how I've been sharpening it. Okay, it takes an okay edge. I mean, it's sharp-ish, not Spyderco sharp. Okay. I don't know whether it's not my system. It's just the OS 8A steel, the OS 8 steel, I suppose. But the whole point isn't how extremely sharp you can get it. The lethality of this is that it is purpose built. Okay, the purpose being this huge point. Okay, it has incredible penetration potential. Okay, it's a bit of a mouthful. But there we go. It's got this really penetrating blade shape to it, and that will get through plenty of things. Okay, put it that way. Okay, the fit and finish of this knife is excellent. Okay, I do think that it is made in America. Okay. But do not quote me on that. Okay, I've looked everywhere on their site. I've looked on many places. Okay, but it doesn't say that it is on the blade. It doesn't say that it's made in China. It's just simply, I'm just assuming that it is. Okay, but there we go. Okay, so the price of one of these probably cost you around £110. Okay, I think in America they are about $150. Okay, they're quite popular. The Hey Ho, which is another knife James Williams designed for CRKT, was very popular as well. I believe that this one will be more popular. but that's just my opinion. I think you can pick one of these up in America for about $150. Okay, the fit and finish of this knife is excellent. All of the black hardware is flush with the handle scales. It's got a nice large lanyard hole there. Okay, it's a partially flow-through design with a spacer here. Okay, and the pommel is also partially closed as well. It does have jimping on the top of the handle, both on the G10 side and on the stainless steel side. It has jimping on the choil area. Now, one thing about this choil is it's quite strong, that lock bar. Okay, so you will need to have a little bit more effort to push it over to then close the blade. Okay, but that you can do it another way, which is what I've been doing, which is this way, and that works as well. Okay, so if you don't want to wear your thumb out a bit too much if you're playing with other knives and things. Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about the knife, okay, in a way, straight off the CRKT website. Go check it out. I mean, this is a fairly expensive knife for $150 or £100, so, you know, read up on your research and things, definitely, and probably the reason why you're watching this review as well. But basically, the James Williams, he's a current martial arts practitioner and instructor, okay, especially in the tactical variety, okay, so his Haisatsu knife designs became kind of mainstays within the military special forces and tactical law enforcement communities across the globe, apparently. Okay, and basically, whether folding or fixed blade knives, these knives they're focused, they're single purpose knives used in close quarters battle or CQB environments as primary or secondary weapon to augment the handgun in the hands of well-trained professionals. Okay, now this particular knife, the Otanashi Noh Ken, was designed by James Williams as per request from SOCOM for a larger, thinner, folding combat knife that was easy to carry and conceal. And believe me, this is easy to carry. It's comfortably, its profile keeps it comfortably out of sight. Okay, so it's comfortable to carry, and it's, you know, it can be outside, you know, stashed outside. Okay, so it is efficient and effective knife. Okay, it's a longer blade than the Hisatsu, and yet it's slimmer to carry than the Heiho. Okay, now this is mainly developed for exceptional penetrating ability used in tactical situations. Okay, and obviously James Williams' work with worldwide military special operations and extensive classical samurai training means that this knife is designed to perform at the highest level when you need it most. Okay, so single purpose, defensive kind of capabilities. Yeah. Well, this is what it's made for. It's made for penetration. Okay. However, it can cut well too. So don't rule that out if you wanted to use it as a knife to cut things with. That's fine. I mean, but you must understand that this is single purpose, and it's actually one of the best tactical knives I've laid my hands on and own. Okay, everything about it just works. Okay, and I think I was actually sold this knife concept idea through. I'll give a shout out to Edge Observer. Go and check out some of his videos, very high production values and things. If just go watch that video as well, okay? Because if this doesn't convince you, that video certainly will. Okay, yeah, there are a couple of gripes. Okay, the weight, the cost for OS8, the locks system, whether it's needed, whether why it's needed, why it goes above there just very slightly, but that's very minor gripes. Okay, sharpening, because it's got that little cutout, it's easier. The thumb disc knarling, but apart from that, it's very well designed and it fits its purpose. Okay, this knife definitely fits its purpose. All right, now I'll do some size comparisons. Okay, I've got a couple of other, you know, tactical knives that you can compare the size with. This is a Gerber DMF. Okay, this is apparently a tactical knife. If you go on their website, it's a heavy knife. Okay, but this is lighter. Okay, the Otanashi is lighter than the DMF. That's putting it in perspective. Okay, so you do get what you pay for. Another kind of tactical-ish knife is the Cold Steel Recon 1. The G10 grippiness on that DMF is next to useless. On the Recon 1 it's too grippy, but on the Otanashi it's just right. Okay, so there's some tactical knives kind of things to show you size comparisons. Okay, it's only about 20 grams heavier than the Recon 1, and the Recon 1 is all G10, no liners, so that puts it in perspective of how well they did with the weighting on the Otanashi. Okay, so there's some size comparisons. Of course I will do some size comparisons with a couple of Spydercos. Okay, this is a Spyderco UK PK and Spyderco Tenacious Black, obviously. So there you go, it gives you some idea the size. Okay, that is level with it, by the way, it's probably just the camera. Okay, so that's how long it is compared to those two. And finally, a knife that I'd compare it to a fair bit as well would be the Spyderco Military. Okay, now the Military is lighter, okay, but if you look at the sizes of them, okay, the handle is about the same size, but the blade on the Otanashi Noh Ken is longer, probably about half an inch, maybe even an inch, probably about half an inch or more longer. Okay, but again, this is EDC kind of tactical purposes, I suppose, and this is purpose built. Okay, but I thought that would be a good comparison because the Spyderco Military is a large knife. Okay, but this Otanashi is longer. Okay. Anyway, that's been my review. Like I say, go check out Edge Observer's excellent kind of rotating blade video and things. Very, very good. Please do comment, rate and subscribe if you've got this knife, what your feelings are towards it, whether you're going to pick one up, whether you're not, reasons why. And once again, thanks very much for watching. Take care.